I want to take you from tragedy to triumph. How was I going to explain that their father not only committed suicide, but murder? It was December 29th, 2017. I received a phone call from my daughter-in-law, and she told me that there was a shooting that had just taken place at my ex-husband's law firm in Long Beach, California. And my body went numb as I contemplated, could this be John? In his law firm, he was well respected. He was loved by the community. He and I led a church for 10 years together. We counseled many in our very living room. We received another phone call later confirming that, in fact, on the day that John was to be fired, he walked into the conference room where both senior partners were waiting for him. John removed the gun and placed it on the table. And he stated, "None of us are leaving this room today." He proceeded then to shoot one senior partner in the chest, killing him instantly, and turned the gun on his other senior partner and critically injured him before taking the gun to himself and committing suicide. We sat together as a family, watching people rushing who were screaming, crying. We sat in horror. How could this possibly happen? How was I going to explain that their father not only committed suicide, but murder? Tears were streaming down their faces. How could he do this? My oldest son was angry. He thought about the man that he killed. He knew him. A life that was snuffed out in an instant. We huddled together, we held each other. There was nothing to say at that moment. This is the reason why I do what I do today. Through that tragedy, through that heartache, I was able to see my children stand up in spite of the circumstances, in spite of the pain, rise up and rise above it. I remember specifically one evening where I'd had enough. I had drank myself to sleep that night just to numb the pain that was inside of me. I woke up at 3 a.m, having some introspection, and I said no more. In the pitch black of my room, raising my hand and shouting, "I vote for me. I vote for me." This was the beginning of learning who I really was. I went back to school. I became certified to become a life coach. I wanted to take my experiences, my pain, and not have it be something that's going to define who I am for the rest of my life. I needed to make a change, and change I did. According to OSHA, 2 million workplace violent acts take place on a yearly basis. The statistics have grown from 83 cases a year to 500 cases a year. And that was in the year 2016. And 85% of gun attempted suicides end in death. Today, I work with women through my programs, walking them through various forms of trauma. You need that person in your life to place a wing about you and isn't just sympathetic to your situation, but is empathetic. I take women through a 12-week transformational process. I teach them, don't just survive, thrive. Don't allow your circumstances to determine who you are and who you will become. I want to take you from tragedy to triumph. I want to walk with you. Meet me in the back of the room. Let's have a heart-to-heart. I want to be that wing about you. Or look me up, aheartspeaks.com, and let's change the pain and find purpose in it.